Assalamu alaikum students, this is Sir Abdul Samad Khan, and today we are going to start some other topics from the chapter Common Fractions for grade 6 Matriculation. So let's get started. Multiplicative Inverse. If the product of two fractions is 1, then the two fractions are called the multiplicative inverse of each other. For example, 2 times 1 over 2 is equals to 1. This 2 will cancel this 2, so we will left with 1. And in this example as well, this 3 will cancel this 3, and this 5 will cancel this 5, and minus minus will become plus. So again we will left over with 1. So any two values which when multiplied with each other and will get the answer 1 is actually known as the multiplicative inverse of each other. Here we have to remember one thing. In multiplicative inverse, only the positions of the values replace, sign doesn't change. If the fraction is positive, its multiplicative inverse should always be positive, and if the fraction has a negative sign, its multiplicative inverse should always be with the negative sign. Division. Okay, division is actually the reciprocal of multiplication. If we are given a division sign between the two fractions, we have to convert the division sign into the multiplication sign by taking the reciprocal of the value that is given on the right side of the division sign. For example, as we see, there are two fractions 8 over 9 and 4 over 3, and there is a division sign between them. So first of all, we have to replace this sign with the multiplication sign, and for that we have to do the reciprocal of the value 4 over 3. So it will become somehow like this: 8 over 9 times 3 over 5, 3 over 4. Now let us learn this with the help of some examples. Example number 1, multiply. Okay, in this question, as we see that we have given three mixed fractions: 1 whole number 2 over 5, multiply by 2 whole number 1 upon 7, multiply by 1 whole number 1 upon 9. So first of all, we have to convert these mixed fractions into the improper fractions, and for that, as we know that we have to multiply the denominator with the whole number. 5 times 1 is 5, and then add the answer in the numerator. That means 5 plus 2 is 7. So this is our new improper fraction. Okay, similarly repeat this is the steps over here. 7 times 2 is 14, and 14 plus 1 is 15. 9 times 1 is 9, and 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so these three are the improper fractions. These three fractions are multiplying with each other, so we have to multiply the numerator 7 times 15 and times 10, and multiply the denominators 5 times 7 and 9. So we will get the new fraction as 1050 divided by 315. Okay, now if both the values will cancel with one table, you have to cancel it, and 1050 and 315 will cancel by the table of 3. So when we cancel both the values by the table of 3, we will get the new fraction 350 divided by 105. Again over here, if we see 350 and 105 will be cancelled by the table of 5. So we are going to cancel it by the table of 5, and then we will left with 70 divided by 21. And again, as we see that 70 and 21 will comes in the table of 7. So we can divide both the values by the table of 7. So we will left with 10 divided by 3, and it cannot be divided further. So that's our final answer for this question. Okay, example number 2. Example number 2 is of division. So over here we have already also given the mixed fractions 3 whole number 1 upon 2, and then we have the division sign 1 whole number 3 upon 4 multiply by 1 whole number 1 upon 2. So first of all, we have to convert these values or these mixed fractions into the improper fraction by the similar process as we have discussed in the previous slide, and we will get these three fractions. Okay, secondly, we have to convert this division sign into the multiplication sign, and when we convert it, the value 7 over 4 will become 4 over 7. Okay, now if you multiply 7 times 4 times 3, we will get 84, and 2 times 7 times 2 we will get 28, and 84 and 28 comes in the table of 2. So when we divide these two values, we will get the answer 42 divided by 14. Okay, again 42 and 14 will again divided by the table of 2. So when we divide it, we will get the answer 21 divided by 7. and in the last 21 and 7 will come in the table of 7. So we can also cancel both the values by the table of 7, and finally we will get the answer 3, and that's our final answer for this question. Okay, complex fractions. What are the complex fractions? A fraction whose numerator or denominator or both are themselves fractions is called a common fraction. For example, if we see in these 3 examples, the numerator is a fraction, 1 over 2 is the numerator and 3 over 4 is the denominator. So numerator and the denominator or both, if these values are the fractions, so that kind of fractions are known as the complex fractions. Let us again learn how to solve these kind of sums. Example number 3. Okay, this is a kind of a complex fraction, and the question is one whole number. It's not 11, it's one whole number 1 over 2 of means times or multiplication sign of 2 by 3 divided by 4 plus 4 over 3. So first of all we have to convert this mixed fraction into the proper fraction, improper fraction, and finally we will get the answer 3 over 2, and we will place the multiplication sign in place of, and then we have 2 over 3. Okay, and in the denominator, as you know, we have discussed in the previous lecture that when the denominator values are different, whenever there is a sign of addition or subtraction between them, we have to take the LCM of both the numbers. So 1 and 5, when we are going to take that LCM of 1 and 5, we will get the answer 5, and then we have to do the cross multiplication. 5 times 4 is 20 and 1 times 4 is 4. So this is our new fraction. Finally these 3 will cancel this 3, this 2 will cancel this 2, and we will left with in the numerator as 1, and in the denominator we will have 20 plus 4 is 24, and in the denominator we have 5. Okay, so we can say that 24 divided by 5 itself divided by 1 is dividing by 1. So we can write the fraction like this: 1 is divided by 24 divided by 5. Okay, so now again we have to convert this division sign into the multiplication sign, and then what we have to do, we have to do the reciprocal of the value which is on the right hand side of this sign. That means 24 over sign will become 5 over 24, and simply we have to multiply these values. 5 times 1 is 5 divided by 24, and it cannot be cancelled further, so that's our final answer. So that's all from today's video. Hopefully this video you all understand this video, and inshallah ta'ala will meet you in the next lecture with some other topics. So till the next time, thank you so much for watching, and Allah Hafiz.